Vishnu Gurudevo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Parabrahmam Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Om Suklam Bharadaram Vishnum Sashivaranam Chartupajam Prasanavaranam Dhyaye Sava Vigno Prashante. Om Bhurabhuva Suvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhago Devasya Dhimai Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Hi, everybody. Welcome. Pranams to all of you divine souls, and also many of the divine souls that will be watching this particular broadcast, which we are recording. So I'm going to first start off by saying that we changed the format of this course for a couple of different reasons. And I want to kind of a little bit explain it so that you can understand how we came to this point. And it's not that we didn't have people registered for the course. We had people registered for the course and people joining in. However, in Swami Kaleshwar's reality, you always have to listen to the nature. You always have to have your consciousness linked to the Guru Parampara, that higher source of knowledge, intuition, and energy. And it became very clear and apparent to me that this was not the time to have a course to charge for it. Now, it doesn't mean that we're not going to do that. The reflections that came back in the nature, the reflections that came back in my consciousness was very clear. Make these satsangs available to anyone and everyone who wants to participate. Free. For this particular time leading up to Shivaratri. Because it's a very, very, very critical time right now. Societies are being challenged, people's finances are being restricted, people's state of mind are being disturbed, our resources are being taxed. The poison in the creation is increasing, it's not decreasing. So the way that the Maya attacks is through reflecting what your priorities are, given the circumstances. And in my consciousness, it was very clear that the nature was reacting in a way that was telling me something. And what it was telling me was that this is not the time. Why is it not the time? Because the knowledge is more important than the prosperity. The community is more important than the prosperity. Serving the people at this point in time is the priority. The knowledge is standing on 1 out of 4 legs. The Kaleshwar community is going through its challenges. People are, the illusions will want to make you forget the reality. And it will want to suck you into its divisiveness, fear, anxiety, conflict, frictions, duality. So, I had a conversation with both Kauski and Mohini and said, what we originally intended for this course, we had to a little bit put it on hold because we were going to talk about the effects of time and how time is can be used for our spiritual growth. but it took a lot of time to really develop that course. And we're going to be bringing it forward for sure. But right now, we have to talk about Shiva in the context of this time. You know, we talked about the churning of the ocean before and how the poison has really kind of come up to the, I mean, you can see it in the world. So the question that we had to ask ourselves was, are the students prepared to handle the poison in the world, the poison within themselves, the intensity of societies, the breakdown of rules of law, and so on and so forth? And how do we, as spiritual students, respond, react, and to work within the reflections in the nature? So I responded to the Maya by surrendering to the Maya, one part, but not surrendering my consciousness. So I made a decision to throw back to the creation. Okay, we're going to make this 2 or 3 courses, these satsangs, free. And we're going to give the knowledge free. We're going to hold the Dharma, and we're going to support the community with the tools and the techniques to help combat all the turbulence that are happening in the creation. So just wanted to put it out there just to let you know. And it's going to be slightly modified, but a lot of the essence of the process, the meditations between today's course and next weekend's course, leading up to Shivaratri, we're also going to be sending out to everybody the Shivaratri mantras that are used for purification, used for opening up our consciousness, so that everyone has the tools necessary to succeed for this coming up Shivaratri. Got it? Good. Kaushiki, did you want to add anything to that?
Well, in reading the transcript, and we were talking about it, like Paul was saying, you know, right now we're seeing a lot of poison come up, but, you know, what is it triggering in you, and how do we balance that in ourselves? And there's a part in the transcript where it talks about how Shiva balances the energy of the fire with the water. And in really meditating on it, what came to me is, you know, if you go back to the elements and doing the elements, you remember that fire and water, all the elements actually, they have their positive qualities and they have their negative qualities. So Shiva, by holding the poison in his Garalakanta, in his throat, is not allowing it to go down into his heart chakra to be disturbed, also to destroy the creation, because if he wasn't holding it there, it'd destroy him as well as the creation. But if we think about in our life, how are we handling the things that are coming at us on the media, from others around us, from the challenges we're facing right now with quarantines, with masks, with, you know, financial strains, with, you know, being being with partners 24/7 for some people, you know, that's a real challenge on relationship, or even with your kids having to homeschool if you have children at home, you know, all these factors. And so how are we balancing, you know, if you look at the fire, that's anger when it's out of balance. Water is if you have too much emotional, you know, you go into your emotions. How are you balancing these two things within inside of yourself? And so, and not getting disturbed. So when it's allowed to go down into our heart chakra, then we get really upset and disturbed. And, then we start holding on to resentments and, not being able to forgive. And then it goes, it really just disturbs your whole energy. So the challenge I think at this point in time is to really look at the tools that Swami gave us. It's decharging, with our black rock. You can use a water element, decharging in the shower with the water element mantra. Homas, if you're not able to do homas, you can always do little with the candle. So how are we continuing to keep our equilibrium, our state of well-being through all of this? And I mean, we're all human, so don't get upset with yourself if you manage to, get upset or angry because of, something, but just take a step back, look at it, and then say, okay, wait a second, maybe I over responded, and apologize, or just apologize to yourself. Don't get angry at yourself. So it's really, that was what was coming up for me, because there's just so many things. I mean, sometimes with all the information that's coming up and will be coming forward in the future, it might be really challenging. So we have to keep a balance with inside of ourselves. That means maybe listen to only so much news, and then being able to go out and walk in nature, and, things that really support you during this time. So I don't know if anybody, would like to share, how are you guys, managing with what's happening right now? I mean, it's really a challenging time. I don't think we've ever had this in our lifetime, that's for sure. Anybody like to share? Anju?
So, the first and the foremost thing I decided during the past several months was to stop watching the news. And then with my daughter, 16-year-old, and she has been home since last March. And it has not been an easy ride for me. Every day was a major, major challenge. And it felt like I was walking on eggshells on a minute basis. And the only thing I could think of was to surrender to all the masters, because there was nothing I was doing was working in the house. And there were days I have cried, I have yelled, I have done all the 9 emotions that are there in, like in the Indian dance form, we talk about 9 emotions, and I had all the 9 emotions past 1 year. And the easiest solution I found was to surrender to the masters. And the minute that happened, things started shifting. The right help started coming, and things have definitely started easing around me. So there is no shortcut for surrendering. Just surrendering to the masters. They are there to help. That's what I felt. So this is regarding the home front, but outside, I have decided not to watch any news, or if I have to step out, I wear my mask, but nothing more than that. I don't want to go through the news channels or anything. It's only driving me crazy. I don't know what the truth is out there. So that's all I had to say. Thank you.
Made a couple good points. Is surrendering at the Guru's feet. I mean, every day surrendering and saying, thank you for taking care. Thank you for providing everything. Just keep helping on the planet. helping me get through this. And the second point was, yeah, right now, you know, we really don't know what the truth is. It seems like everything's topsy-turvy. Everywhere you look, it's hard to determine what is real and what is not real. And so again, it's finding that balance for yourself to be able to maintain in your life through this time. I find myself doing a lot of praying and a lot of meditating because that is the one thing I can do. On the larger scale, on the big scale of things, I don't have a lot of control, but what I do have a control over is how I'm responding to it and my capability, and all of us. We have to remember, Swami trained us for this time. He gave us so many mantras and tools to handle this time. And so using Mahakali to help to take out the negativity or help to flip the virus or help to flip any negative consequences of the vaccines for people, or, you know, whatever negativity is very strong right now. So we have tools and we have power to help influence this time. So we have to remember that we, even though we might not be in government or whatever else on that scale, we have tools and we are connected to the Guru Parampara who are here and we're plugged in, and they have the power to flip things around. And we have to keep remembering that and to use our tools. And that's the biggest thing I think that each individual can do right now. Would anybody else like to share?
I would. It's Ronalda. It's been an interesting week. I actually woke up with a migraine, so I'm okay now, but I'm just not on the video for that reason. I've had an interesting thing where somebody will post something and it sounds really good and then it disappears. So like information is just disappearing, which is strange. And like you said, it's hard to uncover what the truth really is. There's and I guess I'm tired of people and their doubt. And but I know that, you know, eventually they'll wake up, or maybe their purpose is not to wake up, and I can't get involved in, you know, I have to look after my own issues, I guess. And I just want to say, when we first like joined today, I've been watching Suzanne, and Suzanne, you have some sort of halo over your head right now. It's been there for a long time. And also there was a purplish blue light, but it's not there anymore, but it was at the beginning. And I'm just watching it, and you just have a complete circle above your head. Like I said, that blue white was right on the very top of your head. And if it pops in again, I'll let you know, so if you guys can all see it as well. So yeah, it's interesting.
Mhm. Anybody else want to share?
That's all I got for now.
Thank you.
Hi, this is Tam. I just wanted to share that I too have been surrendering a lot and meditating and reading the transcripts and finding little gems. And interestingly, I've read this one transcript probably 2 or 3 times, and it finally just hit me. So yeah, just trying to stay calm and read and relax, go for long walks. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, so
Thanks.
it's a really, you know, this is a really great example of the poison, because it's how we interact with the illusions and how we become masters. I will say that Swami really wanted everybody to be able to become like Shiva, believe it or not. And what that meant was that he wanted everyone to connect to that energy and the protections that come along with it. I mean, really, if you take a look at it, our whole path is about becoming more like a Shiva character, in the sense that how to interact with Mother Divine and her illusions, how to become masters of the elements, how to become connected to that universal Brahma consciousness. And you see it in a lot of the transcripts. One of the things that we were going to talk about in this satsang was, how does Shiva do it? He is the person that has control over the elements. He's the person that has control or is very wary of Mother Divine and her creation. But at the same time, he's managing her creation and what she is doing. At the same time, he's putting into balance. Balance is a real key part of this mastery. Because when we are not in balance with the elements within us, it's when we become disturbed. And that was the reason why we wanted to focus on this Shivaratri, about how to become more like, or have those same qualities as Shiva. So I'm going to be specific. One part, Shiva handles the poison, because otherwise all of creation will become destroyed. It's like Anju, what she said was, she's walking on eggs. There's anxiety, there's fear, there is that disturbance through her 16-year-old impressionable daughter that is creating a disturbance around her. So how does she do it? She goes back to the elements. She surrenders to the masters. In a sense, she's surrendering to that Shiva energy. And in that way, she doesn't have to hold on to that poison in her throat, because she can't digest it, because that'll destroy everything. And she can't vomit it out, because when you vomit out that poison, what does it happen? It creates more poison. It's like a ripple effect. So the three things that Swami had talked about was A, balancing the poison in the throat chakra. And how he did that was through the water element, which is how he calmed down the fire element within him. And it's very interesting, when we did the research for this course, the importance of handling the poison or creating balance through the water element on our head. And it's quite extraordinary how Swami talked about it, that Shiva balanced the poison through the water cooling down the fire in his throat, through the water element of Ganga. He actually used Mother Divine to help him to balance. The key here is that water element is directly linked to his Brahma consciousness. You see the link between Shiva balancing through the water element, through Mother Divine, and his own inner consciousness, because it says it in the transcripts that his consciousness is linked to that. Similarly, yes, Ronaldo.
Didn't the Ganges actually, it did this week. There was flooding in the Himalayas. There was a mudslide that went straight down.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
So we see it reflected in the nature. It's quite extraordinary. So these are pearls of wisdom that I go back to whenever I see disturbances around me. Okay, the poison is attacking. What do? I go back to the mother and the father to help balance the poison and cool down the fire. We have mantras, we have tools. That we have this dialogue between Kowski and myself. Every time I'm talking to her about a problem and everything, she always reminds me, she's like my Ganga. She says, we have tools, Paul. And we didn't hear what you said, Kowski, but go ahead.
Yes, I was reiterating, we have tools.
She's got a recording in her Brahma consciousness that anytime Paul gets out of balance, remind him, we have tools, Paul. So as we begin to act like Shiva and use the tools that Shiva has, we can begin to handle any situation that's out there. So I'm going to give a second example. And this is what we wanted to talk about in the course, and really talk about Shiva as a concept for ourselves. So the second thing is that he received a gift from Mother Divine, which is the Maya, one part. He says, give me the fire element of your energy in my third eye. Why is he asking for the fire in his third eye? Two reasons. One is to burn the illusions. You never want to have the illusions cover your discrimination and your link between your third eye and your Brahma consciousness. So it's really important. So you've got these two elements working with Shiva. You've got the fire in the third eye, burning the karmas, burning the illusions. And it's Shirdi Baba that used his third eye power to burn the karmas of the people. It was one of his techniques. That's why he was always sitting in front of his dhuni. So we've got two elements, the water cooling down through the Brahma consciousness of the water element and Ganga on the poison, right? Then the second is creating a strong, powerful third eye so that no illusion can affect you. And it's really interesting hearing Anju, what she said was, she says, I stopped watching the news. And it's really interesting because Swami talks about, well, how do we absorb the illusions? And one of the ways that he says that we absorb the illusions is through the physical eyes. Whatever we see and perceive, that goes in and we absorb it through our two eyes. So using her discrimination, because we don't know, the internet, the media, all this stuff are filters of information. We don't know what's true. We don't know what's not true. And we're not going to get into a political conversation about it. But it is a medium that is influencing our perception. It's creating our reality, whether it be fear, desires, or a perception of separation between other people. And what happens is that those perceptions affect our heart. It creates diversity. It creates fear. And fear is really the byproduct of this Maya, because when you engage in fear, it's not to say there are two sides of fear. Fear can be a real initiating safety, but when you have it on a prolonged basis, it creates it creates a disturbance in our soul. So really, Shivaratri timing is about, okay, well, I hear all these like stories, Paul. What does it mean to me now? How is it important to me now? How can I use it to make me happy? Isn't it amazing? One of the things that we forget the most is being happy. We forget to be happy. We forget those things that make us happy. We forget those things that really bring us back to a peaceful mind. You know, the other thing that I have been recommending to people in order to decharge, you know, we've got the fire element, we've got the water element. One of the other powerful things is connected to the nature and how to decharge within the nature, how to become peaceful, how to connect to the angels in nature. Because when you connect to the angels, you're also connecting to Shiva. It's one step to Shiva. So really, these satsangs are designed to say, hey guys, how to handle the poison, how to balance the elements, how to not disturb your heart chakra, how to not disturb your soul. When disturbance comes in the form of Maya, what you can do to not allow those disturbances to enter. And a lot of us forget that we have that power, we have that ability, we have that connection. And like Anju said, it's about invoking the protection and the guidance, whether you are aware of it or not, that we are connected to Shiva through our master, Sri Kaleshwar, Jesus Christ, Shirdi Sai Baba. But we forget that power. And really this path is about power and love. How we can access the power of the elements, because when we access the power of elements, we can calm the nature down. We can calm the mother down. This is our role. This is our capacity. So, you know, the main thing is that people forget their channels. How many people here forget to decharge to your power spot? All you have to do is remember your power spot, your personal mantra, your personal yantra, and your even the mechanism of soulmates or power objects can help you to go back into the balance. Yes, Cecilia.
I just want to read this. It's in the transcript. Once you receive enough Shiva energy in you, Mother Divine automatically has to be in your presence. So make Shiva impressed. Everything is linked with you connecting to Shiva's vibration through your personal mantra, 99.9% of Shiva Pajaksharas, and Shiva clay, your power spot. Power spot is your biggest power object. Without the connection to Shiva through the power spot, it's extremely difficult to connect to Mother Divine. And remember, Shiva and Shakti are always together. Without your key to the safe, hard to get any success in the power channels. Once you receive enough Shiva energy in you, Mother Divine automatically has to be in your presence. Our inner vibrations linked with 5 elements. Once you're at least maintaining pretty good balance of the vibration of the 5 elements, your whole life goes very peacefully. You are pretty good on the 3 gunas. So it's, remember, we have tools. Our personal mantra, our power spot. Another technique that just came to me is, I'm sure everybody has a Shiva Lingam. We can do Abhishek to our Shiva Lingams chanting Om Namah Shivaya. It really helps to settle down and calm down the energy. We have the Sky Mantra, linking back to Shiva to calm situations down. We have the arrows, the 9 arrows, all Shiva Bijaksharas. When things are going crazy, use your arrows. You know, there's so many things, so many of our mantras that go back to Shiva to help to calm us down and to balance outer elements. So we just have to remember to use them when, you know, we need them. So I just wanted to read those.
I have a short question for the Shiva Lingams. Hello,
Okay.
you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
And because in the transcript there was a section about the crystal lingam, and I never heard about that. And after there were like 3 methods what we should do with the lingam, but was this for the black one or the crystal, or is it the same? So it would be nice to have some clarification for that, please.
So the mantra, the Namah Shivaya Ji, is only with the crystal lingam. The other 3, you can use both the crystal or the black lingam. But the mantra, you only can use the crystal if you have one.
Different power objects have different functions. Your black Shiva lingams, which I think you have, is a great tool for decharging. The crystal lingams serve a different purpose, and we'll go into that a little bit later. Our main focus here is, how do we receive the power of Shiva? And how do we decharge the illusions? Self-illusions, the illusions from the nature, the illusions of other people. Because it's not going to get any easier. It's going, you know, Swami talked about this time. He said, I will never forget this. He said, there will be a time where the world will seem upside down. Up will be down, down will be up. He says you will not be able to travel in the future. You will be restricted to travel only through cars. And I'm amazed to watch the Maya unfold the way it has been. It's just phenomenal to see his predictions. He was like a Nostradamus in a way. He said that there would be new diseases and new strains of diseases that will be unleashed, and humanity will become thirsty for spirituality. And it's quite extraordinary because I've been seeing the reflections in the nature, because I have a temple and it's public here in Los Angeles. And I have to tell you, over the past month and a half, I see the anxiety, the fear, the poison, the unraveling that's happening out there. But when they come here, because we have so many power objects here, people automatically, without their notice, they just decharge. And when they leave, they feel an immense relief, because there is tremendous Shiva energy here, but also there's also Shakti here. But Shakti and her energy is serving a unique purpose, giving blessings to help the people with their heart's desires. You know, it's quite extraordinary because we have Shiva on one side, and in a separate room, we have Shakti. It's exactly like the way it is in Penacunda. They come in, they get the blessings from Mother, then they go to Shiva. Once they receive Shiva's energy, then they go out the same way and pranam to Ma, and it's balanced. So that's really what we're trying to do. I heard the call, give this knowledge to the people. Now is the time to release it as much as possible. And so we're going to give a mantra. So, and this is going to be part of the process for this course. We didn't want to make it complicated. We had a bunch of other decharging power channel mantras, but it was too much. We wanted to keep it very powerful, simple, and allow people to really prepare themselves going into the Shivaratri timing, because Swami Kaleshwar was a Shiva character. And now the Shiva timing and his Mahasamadhi are the same. So there's an energy unique to this time, which is unmistakable, that both Shiva in the form of Sri Kaleshwar and Shiva will be kind of linked together. I don't want this time to go. We want to capture this time. So, Kausiki, do you want to give the mantra out so that, and then we'll talk about it and why we chose this and why this is so powerful, because it is, timing is everything on this path. You have to have the tools with you. You have to capture the timing of it. And you have to know the technique to hook a divine soul, the angels, Mother Divine, Shiva at the same time. So timing is everything. And we're running out of time because we all know that time is, it seems that time has accelerated beyond this creation. I'm just amazed. And that's why we wanted to do this course at this time and not have any illusions of scarcity to prevent people from accessing the power of this cycle. So Kauski is going to give the process diksha for this timing, and then also we'll talk about, and we'll send out some knowledge as well, but it's really process. Process is vibrating at a higher level so that you can draw like a magnet those energies. And then at the time, really think about, what do you want to come out of this? You know, okay, you want to become like a Shiva character so you can handle any poison on the planet. Example. You want to connect to the angels more powerfully so that you can help heal other people. Okay, great. You want to be able to have mothers like Shiva, to have the fire of the mothers in your third eye. All these techniques and these tools are designed to help you connect. That is the most important thing. Kausuki?
So we're going to be doing Om Namah Shivaya G plus your personal mantra. And we'll do that for a half hour a day, if you can, minimum 20 minutes. And we're going to be doing that until Shivaratri is March 11th. Starting on the 10th, we'll be switching and doing the Shivaratri mantras that you only do that particular day. So that's our process.
Will we have an intense day or night like last year on Shivaratri?
You can do the mantras anytime, day or night, for that 24-hour period. Sorry, I've got a terrible
Asking if we're going to have a group mantra where we chant all night. I think that was your question, right, Suzanne?
Yeah, I remember last year I was like all night doing the mantra.
And we stayed up all night.
Yeah.
Oh, you're on mute.
Yeah, that was a different process. So there are 2 mantras that we do only on Shivaratri day. And you do 5 malas of each one. So we'll give those out for that particular time. In the meantime, from now until Shivaratri, we'll be doing the Om Namah Shivaya G plus your personal mantra. Very powerful. I've been trying this. If you have a crystal lingam, it's very powerful when you're holding a crystal lingam and doing this. G is connected to both Mahakali and Jesus energy. So it's a very powerful mantra.
Can we do
So-
this outside, like walking or not?
No, well, if you can do meditation, you'll find that it's really powerful.
Okay, okay. Sorry.
Mhm.
Is it silent or not?
Silent. What I experienced when I was holding my crystal lingam and doing this mantra, I've done it a couple times now, a lot of activity in your third eye. So it has to do with helping, Shiva is the connecting to the Brahma consciousness. So there's a lot of energy that starts happening. So you will have to just explore, experiment, and see what happens for you.
I just have one other question. So I'm chanting another mantra right now where I won't finish it until like March something, 20 something. Is there going to be a night where we can only chant one mantra, or I can continue with the other mantras that I'm doing?
Isaiah, you were mentioning last week that, or the when we did the intro,
Yeah.
is that you are, the Diksha is for this other mantra you're currently doing. You're
But
not
it's
supposed to
only on
chant.
that last day, which is the 23rd or whatever. So I was putting in complete illusion on that. Complete
Okay,
mind.
so you're able to do the other mantra.
Yes. So can I'm just wondering if there's any Diksha with this one here that we're going to be doing where I can't chant the other one.
No, you should be able to do both.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So it was complete Maya. Okay, interesting. Thank you.
Uh-huh. Any other questions? You're muted, Paul. Paul, you're muted.
G, if you look at the palm leaf books, and we'll send this out, G is also linked with the third eye. And G was also linked to Jesus. And Namah Shivaya is linked to the 5 elements. And we oftentimes, how should I say this? We forget the power of that mantra. And Swami said that it's one of the most powerful mantras. And it has tremendous power. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to even really go into it. But when you put Namah Shivaya G, it has a particular vibrational frequency linked with your personal mantra. And like I said, like Swami said, do not repeat your personal mantra out loud. And so we want to encourage people just to keep it silent and to not even repeat it out into the nature. Do you guys have any questions? Any sharing?
Paul,
Yes.
can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, it's Trinity. Hi.
Hi.
Hi, how are you guys?
Good.
I have a question, Paul.
Yes.
So the mantra, this particular mantra for this process, should we start with that tonight or tomorrow? Tonight?
You could start tonight, no problem, because
Tonight?
yeah,
Okay.
because we're still in the full moon. Everything's timing. We did this thing and we're still in the full moon energy, and it's just the energy of this period is, 2 weeks before Shivaratri. You've got the full moon. Do it for 30 minutes. You could do it more if you want. But you'll see it's extremely powerful, extremely powerful. Any questions, guys?
Guys, my friend Stella just joined. This is her first time joining us. So
Yay,
she's here in Canada as
oh
well.
my God.
Welcome, Stella.
Yeah.
We're being taken over by Canadians.
Yes.
Yeah, hi, Stella.
Ian's.
Hi, everyone.
Great. So Stella, do you have a personal mantra?
No, I don't. It's all new to me. Ronaldo's trying, like, helping me out and teaching me mantras and stuff. So it's all new, but thank you for having me.
Sure, no problem. And what we could do is just email us, and you can go to the srikaleshwaruniversity.org, and you just send us an email. We'll send you a list of personal mantras. Or if you're
Well,
close,
does Ronaldo, are you near Ronaldo?
Yeah.
Yes.
Sure.
Okay, so Ronaldo, do you have the Jesus book?
I don't have the Jesus book. I should
Mm.
get that.
Yeah. 'cause
But I do have the list of personal mantras.
Okay, so then maybe you can explain to her about that. And
Sure.
that'll be great. So got to have a personal mantra in order to do this process, Stella. Actually, you know what, Stella? You can just, until you get your personal mantra, just experiment by just doing Om Namah Shivaya Ji, and just, when you close your eyes, you can just focus on your third eye. You know where your third eye is, right, Stella?
Yes. Yep.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
And then just try that, and then see how that works out. It's a very powerful mantra. So, and you'll find that this path is quite powerful and quite enriching, and it has a lot of tools that can be used practically. But I guess you're jumping into the deep end, right?
I am. Yep.
Okay, enjoy the ride.
Thank you very much.
Great. All right, everybody. We've got everyone here. Anybody? I don't know who MSM is. I know it's an acronym for something else. So if you want to send us your email, we can also send you some handouts and some knowledge as well. Just visit the website. It's on the flyer in the email, and then contact us and we'll correspond that way. And then we'll put you guys on this list. Okay. And then if you guys have any questions, just feel free to reach out. Okay. Yes, Suzanne.
Yeah, I have a short question for understanding. In the notes they were spoken Garalakanta. Is this the throat chakra?
Yes.
Okay, and then it was said there's 5 element chakras. What is this?
Don't worry about that at this particular point in time. That's a technicality. What I'll do is I'll send out some knowledge from today in a handout form to everybody, so that you can read some of Swami Kaleshwar's words. And then if you have any questions, just kind of reach back out to us. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So Stella, you can send us your email. MSM, you can send us your email. Trinity, I guess we have your email somewhere, but send us an email so that I have it. And then we'll prepare for next weekend, because next weekend is the weekend before Shivaratri, which is on the 11th. We'll probably send out the mantras for that. We are going to be celebrating Shivaratri the 10th evening, 11th morning, because that's the coincides with Swami's way that he did it. But we'll send emails to this effect to everybody as well. Okay. Okay, fantastic, everybody. Thank you for being on the call. Thank you for participating. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for being who you are. And always remember that the divine souls are there for our upliftment and our enlightenment.
Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Great.
See everybody next week. Enjoy the mantra, and we'll see you Sunday.
Thank you.
Mhm.
God bless.